Hello, everybody. It's me, the TheT-SaneOtaku here, and I'm here with the three proxies, and
What's good?
we got a new series idea. So the new series idea is clan 20 minutes. We go and give 20 minutes to a clan. I got a nice timer up on this screen right here. And so in 20 minutes we go and talk about the state, what it could need, if it got support recently, all these other factors. We might bump it up to 25 minutes. We'll see how that goes. We might bump it down to 15. I do have a random clan picker, and so we're gonna go and get this thing rolling here. I basically just used a nice random website, and I have all of the clans listed. So we're gonna go and get this get rolling here. So Nick, would you like to spin the wheel?
All right. Spins wheel.
Bap. And just like in our test run, we got Nubatama again.
Dude, nice.
2 in a row. So Nubatama. Yeah. I'm gonna set the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so your opinion. We'll let you go first.
All right. I felt like Nubatama went from like 0 to hero like in a matter of like 2 boxes and a trial deck. it's actually insane how they just accelerated this clan to become, oh hey, this is a discard clan. Oh, now
Correction,
we're
it was a binding clan.
oh yeah, it was a binding clan. Sorry, there aren't a lot of new Nubatama decks out there except for all the new domination ones. So it's like, oh, now they just multi-attack you, but they do it in the most violating way possible, attacking you with your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts.
I mean, that was a pretty good summary of it. Their old keyword was really just mediocre at best. Dominate's a lot better. It's, in my opinion, one of the best keywords in the game.
Oh yeah, dude, it's one of the best.
Because you have Time Leap is the best, in my opinion. Then you have Ritual, super easy. And then after that, it's Revelation. Revelation's really strong.
Oh, I love Revelation.
Darkness is so easy to pull off. And then Rush can get annoying at times, but it's easy to use. And then I want to say that Domination is about on level with Rush. People can bash me all they want for that one. But my opinion about Nubatama is it's very strong. It just needs more fuel. It needs a little bit more. I feel like they're strong now, but they're gonna be in one of those periods of time when it's I'm here, guys, woohoo, and then in 1 or 2 boxes they're like just like completely dead.
Yeah, I personally, just for the sole fact that the main antagonist of the new Vanguard G and Vanguard GZ, most likely series, is going to be Shiranui. I don't think he's going anywhere for a long time until they make the next Vanguard that doesn't have Chrono as the main guy, and Shiranui is just dead. And they killed him when he goes back to K, kills him for treason, because, that's how life works. I just think as long as the main character is going to be using this deck, it's going to get support. That's just how the game works, really. That's what they did for, Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin, all the Paladins, basically. And then Angel Feather got a little bit of love. I'd say they got a good chunk of love in GBT9. I think they need a little bit more love, but that's just my opinion. I'd say they're on par with Genesis due to, just how powerful their columns can get with 1 card, which is broken.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that Nubatama and Genesis are in the exact same situation right now. They're really strong, and they have a lot of things going for them, but they're both in awkward situations, which makes them both really weak. Like, Genesis right now is trying to go from Fenrir to Amarunda because I believe it's just because of the sole fact that Fenrir was soul charging, and it just wasn't blasting at all. And then the second thing was you weren't really using Revelation the way you're supposed to be meant for. Like, you're just, like, calling units that have the Revelation ability. You don't use them at all. You just use them because, oh, it helps my Fenrir units. So, they're using Amarunda now because now you have to run Revelation units. Like, oh, I strive with Revelation, stuff like that. Well, because you're doing that, all the cards required that were, like, the really good cards all require Fenrir names, or, you know, it just doesn't
really.
function. Really?
There was only 2 really good cards, like, from Fenrir that required Fenrir, which were, like, which was, like, Goal. He's an iffy card, only because it's a Soul Blast 3 to draw card, but it's, like, with Amaruta, like, her stride skill, you're gonna be consistently soul charging the Revelation target, unless you soul charge 2 triggers, and it's not the stand trigger you run. So you're consistently drawing at least 1 extra card per turn.
Yeah.
And on top of that, your other skills are popping off. So I think that's really good. But it's just that I think... And then the other one is Goal. Not Goal, it's Gelga, but he's a whole different monster that we'll get into.
We'll get into that when we get to Genesis. So basically, with the Nubatama thing, all of their old cards require either just like weird off-grade 3s you just don't use, like let's say it's before G, and then after G, all of it is like the old keyword, and it's just like they just don't mash. Like they mash, they just don't smash.
Like, fun fact, before all this new Shiranui stuff came out, right? All this new support, Nubatama had like 53 cards.
No, they had a lot more than that.
No, they only had like 53.
No, they had before G. They had plenty of cards to make a deck.
Well, 53 is enough to make a deck. But
no, but I'm talking about they had plenty. They have plenty.
I was talking to Blue King and
Blue King exaggerated, really, because I was in complete denial of it, and I looked and there, like after G, even before G, there was a lot more than 53. There was like, I want to say about 70. So there was about like there was a low amount, but it's like it was a bearable amount, and then after G, there's I don't know how many there were after G.
After that, they didn't get. After that, they got like a once per year support thing. That was only really because of like Fighters Collection. I don't think Nubatama was in the Revival Collection.
But I know that compared to other clans, the amount of cards that they have in their card pool is quite low.
It's
and
negligible.
And so now you're bringing this new stuff, right? And all they can use is the new stuff. Because if you were like, I want to use the old stuff, like if I'm trying to play Victor, or in this case Razors would be a better demonstration. Because Razors, they came out with new Legions and stuff like that. And then I can use all of the Meteokaiser strides pretty well. And then it's like, oh, I want to run the old Razors, I want to run the old Cat Butler maybe, and stuff like that. I can't do that with Shiranui, and that's what makes him really weak, in my opinion. Like he's not petty at all. Don't get me wrong, guys.
Oh yeah.
It just in his situation right now, he needs a little bit more, and because of the sole fact that they're missing quite a bit of things, like Dominate's a really strong keyword, but the problem with it is it's kind of like how Link Joker was back in the day, where you're sitting there and you're like, I'm Link Joker, and you have no cards on the field. Well, that means that I can't do crap, because, I just can't lock anything. You had, like, a few cards that could lock from the hand, like, you'd place one down. But it's not like, nowadays with Universe and stuff like that, where Universe just constantly does it, and then you have the GBA, which is like, here's your hand, just smack it all on the board, and there you go, hold lock the board. So, Nubatama didn't really have that. And they still don't have that. They have one card that calls from hand for Dominate.
No, it's not. I know there's a few that call. Like, I know...
There's one from drop. There's one that calls from drop.
I'm pretty sure Shiranui's stride skill can call from drop, too.
So it's like, the big thing is you just have to make sure you look out what you're guarding with. You have to go and make sure you don't call too much for their domination targets, and then just be smart. And as long as you just do some of these, like the easy stuff, they're gonna burn through their counterblasts. They're gonna try to draw to get hand advantage, and they're just gonna kind of run out of resources. Like, if it's like a double-edged sword. You either stride with your on-stride ability, so that's one counterblast, and then your stride probably takes up one or two, and then it's like, oh yeah, you got the one card that costs a counterblast and a soul blast. Oh, there's three. Where's your counter charge?
And that's not once per turn. Your counter charge
even
comes
worse.
from your.
4. I wanted to draw 2 cards.
Okay, well then you use the crit that pops into soul, and then there's another. I think it's. Forgot what its name is, but it's once per turn. It's basically like Claymore Harry from Genesis, except the what's it called? The domination version of it. So it's like when a dominated unit attacks your Vanguard or whatever, countercharge 1. It's something like that. I forgot what its name was, but I know Blue King wanted to run 4 of it.
It's just that the problem is every turn it's just too blasty. Like I'm a Nova Grappler player, so I can understand like, oh, why are you complaining? But it's just like, Novas have like a way consistently to countercharge a ton. Like I can be like, oh, Clay Doll Mechanic, Clay Doll Chariot, my crit, G guards, my unflipping G guard. I got like grade 2s. I think there's a grade 2 that countercharges. Like I have plenty of cards that can countercharge, and Nubatama is just missing that. Yes, it's because it's new. It doesn't have all the support yet. I think that's just something that they're always going to be choking on. It's counterblast
until it gets fixed, really.
That's something I don't think they're gonna fix. I think that's one thing that they're gonna use to go and try to like it's their balance for the deck. Like you have to manage. Yeah. There's way too many things you have to pay attention to, and then there's way too many things that you gotta go and deal with. There's just a lot of variables that make them
that deck,
a little
where
bit
it's
weaker.
like. That's what I kind of like about the deck, because it's not an autopilot deck. It's not like Gear Chronicle or Luard. Trust me, I love Luard. Luard's my baby. But it's like, you can autopilot with Luard so far until it's shit. I have to think now. Because it's like, you need to know when to, go into your Agama. You need to know when you're going to, end it with the Phantom Blaster.
Yeah, because until then, it's just like, from first turn to second stride, it's all autopilot. You're just like, draw, ride grade 1, draw, ride grade 2, draw, ride the Luard. Oh, okay. Ritual, you gotta get it by first stride or second stride. And then your first stride is always Aura Geyser.
Depending on how many counterblasts you are, yeah.
It's Aura Geyser or Aura Geyser Doomed. Second stride can be either Aura Geyser, Drag Driver, depending on your situation, or maybe even if you're like really into it, a Dark Dragon, Carnivore Dragon. But it's like, you're not... I know, the most busted trial deck stride, like, ever. Like, oh my
so
god.
Good. I love it. Dude, Nubatama's trial deck stride is really good, too. I love it. Because it's like, with Shiranui's skill, you dominate one, and you call it from drop, I'm pretty sure. And then it gets charged at the end of the turn. And then the other one, you restand it. It's like, you get a +4, stand it, attack Vanguard, then stand it back up, +3. Or it's in the opposite order. All I know is that it gives +4 and +3. Or I'm thinking of Mogan Tembu.
Yeah, which is I mean, they needed a strong, good stride. So I mean that's fine. I am excited though this might be a little off topic a little bit, but I am excited to go and see new trial decks not have on hits. That is that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So I will say though, for Nubatama, and this is kind of just like we've been talking poorly about it, so now we can go and talk about like why it's like really good, and that is this is how that Dominate took him from here down like off the screen to like up here, like, hey, I'm with the big boys now, and the biggest thing is the fact of that they tried to give him everything. They tried to give him retire, they gave you control. They give you field wipe, and they give you the ability to go and just overall, like, have presence on not only your own board but your opponent's board. That is nice. I really like that idea. The way that they went
Like,
with that.
it's kind of spooky because it's like when you're sitting there like in the game, like I play tested against Blue King and then Jeffrey and all of them, right? Who been really adamant on building this Nubatama dominate deck. And I was sitting there and I'll be playing Luard and I don't have my hand all farmed and everything, but it's like once they dominate and call that Morfessa from the drop zone, okay, 14, 17, okay, cool. Stand it back up, give it +4. Now it's hitting for magic numbers, and it's becoming a really big threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it violates your field in such a way where you don't feel right after that turn.
It feels like you're just sitting there, and, like, what they're doing is that they just go up to your rear guards, they make them take off their shirts, and then they just rub their nips, and then they're like, join me, and they're like, why not?
What? That is the weirdest way I've ever heard anyone explain it, but okay.
I got you. So, I mean, like, another thing that I think that's really nice for the deck is that they're doing, as much as I don't like this with how decks are doing it nowadays, but they're drawing a lot of cards, which I think is it's a good and a bad thing. I think that they should stop making so many clans draw so many cards, because now it makes it seem like OTT is nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's what OTT's thing is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, I have the 10 card hand plus.
Hand of a god.
You know, yeah, I should be the one with the 10 cards in hand. And then now I'm seeing like Luard, I'm seeing Nubatama starting to take it up. I think I've seen some,
Zodiac,
Gear Chronicle.
Then, Gear Chronicle.
Yeah.
Gear Chronicle can farm a good hand.
Mm-hmm,
Especially with the new grade 1 they got. That new grade 1's great.
The single rare, right? Single rare?
Yeah, it's a single rare. Like, that's a hella good single rare.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the philosophy of the double rare treatment?
No. What is this philosophy?
So the philosophy is simple, okay? If a card's good, it's a double rare. If a card's meh, it's a single rare. If the card is I'll run it, or if it's just a filler, or if it's just, a card that just needs to be there, but in quantity, it's a common. If it's something that's like, I need, triple. Cards like that should have gotten the double rare treatment. For example, Mayaki. Great example. Mayaki deserves the double rare treatment.
One who deserves the triple rare treatment? Kotonoha.
We're not going to talk about this right now. Anyway, so, anyway, for Nubatama, I just think that the drawing hand is really nice because then it lets you guard against like really powerful clans. Like, upcoming in GBT13, we have Gold Paladin support coming out. And the thing that no one realizes is, and I don't know why this is, I cannot stress this enough, Gold Paladin is so close from being what Gear Chronicle is right now. Maybe even higher than that. No one knows it, just because of the fact of they don't see it. I was playing Gurgwit, and I was having a fine time, right? My Gurgwit deck sucked. And I'm not saying this because Gurgwit's and everything, but it's like, if Nubatama really wants to go and tribal with this, they have to go and keep improving. They need a lot more stuff. They need to countercharge, they need to soul charge more, and they don't need to focus on drawing cards more. They need to focus on calling cards. That's what they really need. Because what Gold Paladins are going to do, and I'm scared to see it from GBT13, is they're going to wait to go and get a passive crit all the time, and then now you just run 6 to 8 stands, and hey guys, I'm a 90k rearguard, and I just stood, and I have a crit passively. Like, it's going to be devastating.
I don't think they're going to give rearguards passive crits in Gold Paladins. The only Paladin that is really, like, passive crit heavy, it would be, like, Shadow Paladin. And that's only because it's Shadow Paladin.
Shadow Paladin's even iffy. I would see that more from Dimensional Police. Really.
Yeah.
Dimensional
Like,
Police
if we're just talking about Paladins...
bit.
Yeah, if we're just talking about Paladins in general, though, like,
Yeah.
I'd say.
But gold paladins are the one deck that don't have a they don't have a stride that gives a crit, like a passive crit. Aside from Garamor. Oh,
Well, you run
what a
every
good
single card in
stride!
your-
What a good stride for like Gurgwit. I gotta run High
Yeah.
Beast now. No.
Dude, yeah. High beasts are the highest of beasts.
Okay, so we got a minute remaining on the clock. Wrapping up thoughts. Got anything else for them?
Not really. Like, if you guys want to playtest your domination decks, you know, hit us up in the comments section. I'll play a game with the subs. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I would definitely go and say I would not mind featuring for a video. I would not mind that. I will say with 30 seconds remaining on the clock, Nubatama I would say is a really good deck as long as you stay clear, you know, prevent early damage. You go and make sure you keep cards in hand and stuff like that. Just play it smart, play it safe. Nubatama is not this scary thing that everyone has it. Everyone, like, not everybody, but I've seen a lot of people go and have this, like, scary figure, and they're like, oh, Nubatama, oh my god! And it's like,
it is scary, but it's
dang
like...
the timer's all up, but I need to talk a little bit longer. So,
Okay, that's fine.
So, don't be scared about it. It's, you know, it's just like Link Joker. You know, Link Joker is an extremely, like, they got the most powerful keyword in the game. Keyword in quotes, even though it's not a keyword yet. But
Yet.
they got, yeah. They're extremely strong, but as long as you just keep it wary and keep a level head, there's always a chance to keep you up. And... like, you know, you could run that new, there's Crayon Metals you always got to think of, you know, there's, the new rules that are coming out. I think that there's going to be, this is speculation, but I think that there might be a sideboard in you know, encroachment, but don't take my word for it. That's it for the, you know, the Clan 20 minute. If this point you may leave the video if that's what, but for the next about minute or so, I'm going to be explaining about what the new stuff for the channel is. So, if you've noticed, I hope that you enjoyed the first episode of this. I'm going to try to be posting these about once a week, every week with Nick, or maybe I might get a special guest in here. Like, for example, our good buddy White King, or maybe I might get the Red King. Not Red King, the Red God, I should say. Once the Blue God gets back, we might go and invite him too. But we got that. So the schedule right now is still looking like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it is Monday, probably CFA, until I can go and get a sufficient good way of play testing in real life. I don't have a really good like stand or anything like that for now. This will be posted on Wednesdays, and it'll always be the. I felt like 20 minutes was good. What about you?
Yeah, I felt like it was good. I feel like we could probably bump it up to like 23, just so we can get some final thoughts out there and a lot easier.
I feel like 20 minutes is fine, and then we can just go over it a little bit and snips.
Yeah, just for the people who actually care.
Yeah, true. I mean, if you guys want, we can, you know, bump it up, or if anything. If you guys don't even like this, I don't know. Put it in the comments below. I would like to see what you guys like or don't like. You know, always, you know, remember, like I always say in the comments is, not comments, but I always say in the description. I'm pretty sure no one reads them, but you know,
I read them.
I always say like and subscribe to tell us what you like. I always prefer that, but you know, don't gotta do anything I say. And then on Fridays is gonna be the miscellaneous, which is box openings. I got a montage I'm trying to make. The montage I think is gonna be probably for like our 1 month or maybe like 3 month anniversary or something like that of the channel.
That'd be kind of a good meme.
Because we made the channel on a Friday, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So when we go and post that one, it's gonna be pretty cool. That's gonna take me a long time, but it's like Friday's gonna be that whenever I can get in that day. That sounds kind of dull, but I mean it's the truth. So I think that's
Yeah.
everything. Any more updates for the channel you got, Nick?
Don't forget to raise the flag and you know, keep it mildly adequate.
Mildly adequate is good. It's good words of wisdom.
Yes.
So, if you watched it to this point, thank you so much for keeping up with us. This has been the TheT-SaneOtaku and the Three Proxies as always. I would love to see you again next time in the next video. Bye, everybody.
Like and subscribe.
Let's break up.